Guess what we're going to talk about today? We're going to talk about my 47 pepper plants. Earlier this spring, I decided that I was going to have a giant plant sale. I learned a lot about myself and my skills, and I also learned what not to do and what I should do for next time if I decide that I ever want to host a plant sale again. I will post a link up here if you guys want to watch it, if you're interested. I pretty much grew hundreds and hundreds of plants to give most of them away, which is not horrible. It just wasn't exactly what I was planning. And I also learned that I'm really good at starting peppers and growing peppers and taking care of little baby plants in general. But I ended up saving and keeping a lot more pepper plants than I originally planned to. And I think it was one of those where I just had so many and I have such a big garden space. And I'm like, oh, I can fit a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to keep one of those. Oh, that one looks really good. Or I want to try this variety, so I'm going to keep it for myself. And so I ended up with over 40 pepper plants planted in my garden this year. And they're just starting to really take off. Some of them more so than others. I will do a walk around here shortly and kind of show you guys all the different... Hi. What's up? Most of them are sweet pepper varieties because that is my personal favorite. But I do have a bunch of hot and spicy peppers in here too. And I'm not exactly a spicy girl, but I do like making salsas and hot sauces. I'm not the best at, but I'm willing to try again. I will walk around and show you guys all the peppers and show you which ones are taking off and doing really well right now, the ones that are just coming in, and the ones that are still just barely flowering. For instance, I have this Aji Mango pepper variety that I was really excited about. They're supposed to be these like tiny, cute little like yellowish orange hot peppers, and none of those have taken off yet. But of course, the plant markers that I used were not the best. They lasted really well while I was transplanting over and over again, and while they were in my greenhouse or the barn, and when I was bringing them outside. But now that they've been outside 24/7 and getting weathered on, whether it's me watering them or the wind and the sand and the sun, like most of these name tags are blank. And so I know what most of them are. I can tell the difference between a cayenne and a sweet pepper, or the black beauties I have. That's a really fun variety. These are like purple peppers. And I mean, they still taste like a sweet pepper. I haven't noticed any difference flavor wise, but they're just kind of pretty to look at. So the big question is, what the hell am I going to do with all of these peppers when I finally am in full swing? Right now, most of my tomatoes, they're getting ready to go crazy. And I've already harvested a few times of these pepper plants, but they're really getting ready to go wild. Like today, I had like a handful of cayenne peppers. I posted it to my page and I didn't have any plans with it. So I just took the handful to work and I gave it to one of my friends who likes spicy things. She can just cut it up and put it into a dish. That's not something that I can do. Like I said, I'm not a super spicy person. I will make salsas out of them and I can put it in food. So I'll probably freeze a lot of them. The really hot peppers, I plan on hang drying because I don't want to dehydrate them in my house and like smoke my family out of the house, if you know what I mean. I've heard a lot of people dehydrating even like jalapeños in their house, and the smell alone, like it makes the whole house smell like spicy, and I don't want to do that. I want to be able to be in my house when it's hot outside, and I want to be able to enjoy the peppers too, not cry while I'm trying to preserve them. So I will be hang drying them, and I might do another video on that too. I'm just going to take, you know, like a sewing needle and some fishing string, and I will poke through them, do it like they used to in the olden days, make sure I'm putting it in like a semi-temperatured environment away from bugs and flies and direct sunlight, and dry them that way. And then I can like manually crush them like in my mortar or something. Hi, kitty kitty. As far as all the sweet peppers go, one of my goals is to grow and preserve Sorry, I have the cats over here making noise. My pig's rubbing up on the fence over there because my daughter is over there playing with the animals. I'm a little distracted. Just bear with me. Hi, kitty. Anyways, one of my goals this year is to grow and preserve enough sweet peppers for the year, whether if that's through freezing or pickling, canning, drying, like I was talking about. I pretty much put sweet peppers in all of my like meal prep lunches for work. I usually have like, like a stir fry kind of thing. Like I use rice or potatoes for a base, and then I just add whatever veggies I have, add a protein, whatever's handy, whether it's sausage, ground beef, turkey, maybe some cut up steak, whatever I'm using for the week. I usually will try to cook up all my protein at the beginning of the week to make it easier for dinners. And so far, I think I have 4 bags in the freezer that I have already harvested and cut up. And so I will continue to do that. And I will dry the hot peppers. I might make some like cayenne powder. I might do paprika, which is pretty much just ground up peppers. And I will probably do some like spicy pickles and pickled peppers, candied jalapenos. My family really likes the candied jalapenos, and I might have enough to be able to do that this weekend. I will show you what my plant looks like here shortly. After I have preserved enough for my family, I will start giving them away. I'll give them to my friends and my family. I think I'm the only one in my family that has peppers growing right now, especially this many. My mom, I gave her some plants. She has, some plants, but obviously if she wants to make a big batch of salsa or something, she's more than able to come over and just pick off whatever I have. I'll have enough to share. And then I will start taking them to work. Did you get your loves? I was just chit-chatting with my daughter for a few minutes. Back to the peppers. Where was I at? I have several rows of peppers going here, and like I said, I will do an up-close version. I'll go through all of them and let you guys see them and let you see what they look like. I did want to point out, when I brought all these peppers down here to put in the garden, I staked them very early on. Where we sit at on my property, I'm going to flip you around real quick. Hold on. So that is facing like southwest-ish. And so a lot of the wind will come. I bucked it up. I shouldn't have moved it. A lot of the wind comes in that way, and they will literally break the plants, just break them in half, no matter what they are. If they're tall enough, they just blow everything right over. I've had some of my sheds flipped over from the wind that we get. Sometimes it's just, we get windstorms, and then the gusts are up to like 80 and 90. And so I made sure very early on to stake these as soon as I put them in. A lot of them are just done with twine. Some of them might be the actual little twisty wire. And I think there might be a couple last minute ones that are not tight at all. They're not staked. They're not tied up to anything. They're the very last ones that I brought out here. And I also put some herbs in between all of these. I am a strong believer in companion planting, and I think that rotating your crops and companion planting really does help with bug control and bringing in beneficial insects. This area of my garden, I actually have not harvested anything from before. This, where I'm sitting right now, was my chaos garden the last couple years. And pretty much all that means is that I threw out a whole bunch of seeds, and just whatever grew. I let all the native weeds grow through. A lot of flowers came through. I had some sunflowers. Pretty much anything else I threw out, like all the veggies and stuff, they all got choked out by the weeds, but a lot of the flowers did make it. And my husband has a small excavator, and so what he ended up doing for me was he just scraped off like 2 inches of the topsoil, and then I'm essentially starting fresh-ish anyways. Otherwise, it probably would have been near impossible for me to keep up with the weeds. And I put down this plastic and I barked some of it. Otherwise, like the wind would have just blown everything up. And so you will see, like, I do still have weeds coming in here and there. The weeds are ridiculous where I live. I live like in the desert, and with the wind, like anything that gets watered will have weeds no matter what you do. Like my raised beds all have weeds. I can pull all the weeds out, and then in 2 weeks, I feel like I'm not centered. Hold on, I'm moving you again. It's driving me bonkers. And then in a few weeks, there's weeds all over again. So it's a constant battle. I don't know where I was going with the weed conversation. I was talking about when I started planting them. And, okay, I'm a big believer in the companion planting. So I have a lot of herbs. I think the only ones that I have over here, I have a lot of basil. So I did like rows, and then every other row I planted basil up in between. And so far the only issue, and I can't say it's really been an issue yet, but I have found some earwigs on some of my pepper plants, but they're not causing any issues to the peppers themselves. So I haven't made a big deal out of them. I haven't put any traps or anything out. And I have found some spider webs here and there on the pepper plants. Now, that might not really be a big deal. It is nature. They are going to go where they feel safe and the food is abundant, but it could also mean that I have like an aphid problem or a mite problem or something, maybe something I visually can't see that's not causing damage to my plants yet, but the spiders are there because they are prolific in food. Like they're not having to go very far for their food. I learned that a few years back with ladybugs. All of a sudden I had ladybugs all over my garden. Of course, I'm all excited. I'm like, oh, wow, look, they're so pretty. Look at all these ladybugs. Some people believe like, oh, they're so lucky. But what was actually happening is that there was an area of my garden that was infested with aphids, and I just hadn't noticed the signs yet. And so the ladybugs were the sign that told me that I had an aphid problem, because they were brought in by all the food available to them. So always keep that in mind when you see certain insects in your garden that's all of a sudden popped up. They're not necessarily bad insects to have in your garden, but it's just something to keep in the back of your head. It's like, why are they all of a sudden here? Is there something I'm not aware of yet? Obviously, we want the beneficial insects in our garden, but sometimes they're like little clues, so you know that there's an ongoing issue that you didn't know about yet. Now, I was talking earlier about how, I think that's where I got caught off, and I get distracted really easily if you can't tell, where I was going with donating all the peppers. That's what I was talking about earlier before I stopped to chit chat with my daughter. So I will, all these peppers, after I'm done preserving my own harvest for what I need for me and my family, I will start giving them away to my friends and my family. They can just come over and pick whatever they want. And then I will start giving them away to my coworkers. I work at an urgent care here in town, and I am like the lab personnel there. Now, that's an offsite location. The main hospital is where my department actually lives. So technically, I kind of have like 2 work homes, if you will. Like I have the one that I'm at every day for 10 hours a day, but I'm also visiting regularly to the hospital because I have to transport my samples from the urgent care to the hospital. So then I also have coworkers there. So I have plenty of people that I can give all of these peppers to. And then, of course, I'm already asking my mom to save boxes for me. She works at a restaurant, and she gets those like tomato boxes, the veggie boxes that are nice, sturdy little things. So I'm already preparing to donate to the food bank too, because I know that I'm going to have so many peppers, and there may be weeks where I'm really busy and I don't have the energy or the time to go through and preserve them and to make sure they're good. And so I'll have these boxes set aside where I can just load them up and take them into work, or I can drop them off at the food bank. It's not really out of my way I mean, it's kind of on my way to work. I would have to make kind of a little detour, but it's really not that big of a deal. And you just drive through, get out, hand them the box, and go on your way. And then those people that go to the food bank can have fresh food. I got my other kid coming by now here too, so you're going to hear a very loud truck here in a moment. My kids are all teenagers, and my two oldest ones are just getting home, and yeah. Hi! Making a YouTube video. I'm talking about my peppers. My hot ass peppers, yeah. I had him try a cayenne pepper yesterday, and I was joking about it. He was working on his rig, and I'm like, here, do you want to try this? He's like, no, that looks hot. And then he grabs it anyway and bites the tip off, and he immediately like spit it out and went for a bottle of water. So that'll make some really good hot sauce. I'm really excited about this year's harvest. This is the most pepper plants that I've ever had before, and I've already told you, like, I really love sweet peppers. I literally will put them in everything. So being able to grow enough so I don't have to buy any from the store would be a big accomplishment for me. And then being able to help other people too. Like I said, like I love giving things away. Like obviously I need to take care of myself and my family first. But if I'm able to give things away, that really does make my heart happy. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to grow these many plants and to have the property to be able to do so, and that they're already prolific enough that I can plan on giving some away. I think it's about time for me to show you the plants. Yeah, let me put on my little GoPro and then I'll show you. Okay, we are going to try this. So I have my mic still, and I have this little GoPro attached to me. I'm going to see if I can get a better shot for you guys of the pepper plants, because I wasn't quite sure how it would turn out with my phone while I'm trying to talk to you too. Oh, I'm not old. Before we get into it, don't you dare judge me for all of my weeds, because I have not been keeping up on the weeds. I have certain areas of my garden that are doing really well, and then a lot of my beds I need to go through and pull so I can get ready for my fall garden, and I just haven't done it yet. It's been so hot and smoky and gross, and bed by bed I'll get it done. But don't be judging, because weedy gardens still produce food and feed families, so it's okay. Anyways, back to the pepper. So I have several rows here, as you can see. Let's just walk up and down each one here. Like I had told you, a lot of these are not labeled, so I don't know what's what. I mean, after they get growing, I can tell. I think that's a Serrano. I think. Don't quote me. I'm guessing. I haven't had any of those yet. Let's see. These are the Aji mangoes. Here they are. Can you see it? Maybe. There we go. Isn't that so cute? All right, let's just walk through here. Having a hard time trying to hold this GoPro too. As you can see, a lot of them look really good. These really tall ones are my jalapeno plants. I'm going to be able to make a shit ton of candied jalapenos. That is another one here. See, look at all those. Oh yeah, baby. All right, now I wanted to show you guys these black peppers that I have. These are the purple. Oh, there's a little bit of ick there. There's the spider webs I was telling you about. But see, look how thick this baby is. This is like the perfect little home for a spider. Now, I can't say, I mean, the plant's obviously in decent health. It has a lot of peppers on it. I could have taken some off. Generally, you don't want that many flowers on there, but I have kind of just, my peppers kind of just do whatever they want. I didn't prune any of them at all. All I did was tie them up. I did fertilize them the first few weeks they were in the ground, and then all I'm doing is watering them. And I have this drip irrigation set up. It's not the best. I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. It's not made for these kinds of things, but I was being lazy, and that's what I ended up doing. I have had to go through, I've been taking a little thumbtack, and every couple weeks I have to go through on each plant and poke bigger holes in it to make sure that everything's getting sufficient water, because we run off of irrigation. So we pay the irrigation company, like, let us use the canal. They fill the canal from the reservoir, and it just tends to be like super mossy sometimes. So I don't, and sandy. So I don't know if I'm not sure if it's like the sand, or my husband was saying it might just be from the heat, like expanding and cooling, that it's making it so like the soaker hose isn't soaking like it's supposed to. But going through and just poking it every few weeks has been working out. I mean, I'm getting my squats and getting down, crawling around on my knees to do so, but now I know I will not do that again. I can show you what I usually do. The other side of my garden is set up that way. Like, here is what my drip irrigation looks like. Let's see. So I have these, I think this is a 1/4 inch, and they have these spray nozzles on there, and that worked really well for me, but it takes a little bit more time to put together, which is why I took the lazy way out and did the soaker hose. But next year I'll just redo the whole thing. I said this is a new area. I didn't have this set up. Like, I had like a regular like sprinkler, and I like having the drip irrigation set up because I can put them on timers, and so I literally don't have to worry about my garden being watered, whether I'm here, if I have plans and I'm going out of town or whatever. I can make sure like my garden is good to go, and I do not have to worry about watering it, and I can come out here and spend time and just enjoy it, or talk to you fine folks, and I don't have to worry about watering. This cat is just living his best life out here. I'm not sure if you've seen the last video where he popped up as well. His name is Prince. He's like 18 years old. It's my dad's cat. I think it's probably been about a year since I've kind of like adopted him, and we're just kind of trying to take care of him and let him do his own thing. I really don't even know how old he is. I'm guessing he has to be 18 years old. He's up there. But I did come up here the other morning when I was doing my morning chores, and I caught him with a mouse. Can't believe like that old man cat was fast enough to still be a mouser. It's impressive. Anyways, let's continue on with my peppers. I mean, I guess for the most part, you get the gist of it. I have several different types of peppers. I have my basil that I have been harvesting. I have harvested that twice, I think. Here's one of my macaroni reds. The one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes while I'm waiting for these peppers to change color like they're supposed to, like these macaroni reds, that they end up going bad before I can pick them. So here it's just turning red. So it's not ready to pick yet. But I'm anticipating another full container of peppers when I harvest. I've been harvesting on the weekend. And so today, as I'm filming this, it is, I don't even know what day is it. Today is Thursday. It's Thursday night. So I have tomorrow. So I can either do it tomorrow night or Saturday morning. So then that way I have the whole weekend to go through and preserve everything. because I'm going through, like I said, I'm cutting up or pickling or like whatever preservation I feel like doing that day, and making sure that they're all getting preserved before they go bad. I have cucumbers on the other side. My tomatoes are just coming in. I'm only getting like handfuls. I'm really excited. I'm trying to make a shit ton of sauce this year. I have 2 jars left from last season, from last year, and I would like to probably double that so I can have like maybe try some more marinaras. I still have salsa, but it was like the spaghetti sauce that we used a lot of. But all of these herbs also take a little bit of time for me to preserve. I have some rosemary, parsley, and basil. Those are my main herbs that I'm harvesting so far. I do have some yarrow and dandelion. I have not harvested that yet this season. Anywho, I think I am done rambling. Here is my pepper video. Oh, let's count them real quick. Let's see. Okay, I lied. I have 37 pepper plants. Now we know. Not 43 or 47 or whatever I said. That will be the end of my pepper talk today. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next one.